approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common Man, Common Man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Yes! Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
Stop!
You guys are going to criticize whatever you want to criticize.
Yeah, Rosie.
Quack, quack. Quack, quack. Quack, quack.
I love the common man.
Thanks. Yeah.
I love the common man.
Very funny. Very funny.
Capriza.
Tampa Bay.
Wow, what a great American League Central Division baseball mind. Wow, what a great American League wild card race baseball mind. Wow, what a great American Idol audition mind.
South Carolina and Oklahoma and Arizona and North Dakota and New Mexico. We're going to California and Texas and New York. We're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House.
Welcome back to the spotlight, young man.
You like that? You like that? I don't mind it.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the North. This is the common man, Dan Cole.
Why do I think that's so funny and so preposterous when Alec Lewis, who participated, he works for The Athletic. Tend to be familiar with The Athletic?
The what?
Say online sports your whole life, just sports page. Hundreds of the best writers across the country all congregate there. They actually work from home or work from stadium sites, whatever, and they cover sports for good or ill for all the major markets, college, NFL, everything. Just what you name the sport, they do it. I think they even do pickleball. And he was in to play Program Password a couple weeks ago, and I invited him to stay a while. He's never made an appearance on the show, and as always, when I bring guests to the show for the first time, I like to, get to know them. I do. It's like the Twins. Remember the Twins had years ago when they're going to do the same thing this upcoming year. You're not going to be able to recognize the roster, but they did the get to know them. And so that was their whole campaign because they knew it was like get really excited about being in the division race. It was just get to know the players. So I like to get to know him. And I, asked Alec Lewis about where he's been, where he's going, where he's at. Was he from Alabama?
Alabama, sweet home Alabama.
Yeah, and again, he doesn't have that Alabama kind of accent there, so I was kind of surprised he's from Alabama, but that's what he says he was. Whiskey bottle, brand new car, oak tree, you're in my way. And I don't know how we got into it, but he heard from the open in the show, he hears, the clown from Brown. And that's, of course, the now defunct Brown Institute, which was a broadcast school back in so many legendary disc jockeys and radio people went to Brown Institute. There's the common man, Dan Cole. And then there's the common man, Dan Cole. And then there's the common man, Dan Cole. I think Tom Bernard, legendary morning show guy, may have been a Brown graduate. Lee Valsvik, who works in this building. We were in the same class together, class of 81. And Alec Lewis said, he thought he thought I went to Brown University in the Ivy League.
I always love that.
You don't seem to find that as hilarious.
I find it very hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess maybe it's just so funny. There's really nothing to say. I looked it up. Brown is considered the 13th best university in the country. And like 69.
You've got to be kidding me.
Worldwide. I had to look it up to see. So I am the clown from Brown. And that's true. Boy, there's a lot to get to. By the way, no Brian Oak today. He had something come up. He's going to join us for Rock Talk tomorrow. Tennessee, we've locked in 1:30.
We need 12:30 tomorrow.
What's that?
Spread swing's 1:30. You got to do 12:30 with him.
I'm going to have to get back to him then. That's right. Sorry.
I had told him 12:30 tomorrow.
Oh, did you? Okay. Then can you reiterate? Common's lost his mind. I totally forgot about spread swing. Deuce would like to forget about spread swing. I told you I offered him the opportunity to just beg out and say, you know what? This ain't really working out for. If you just want to drop out of spread swing, you can, because it's got to be difficult to be the laughing stock, not only of the fan, but of the Cole family. But then he looked at me and he said, Coles don't resign, we get fired. So you have to throw them out. So no Oak today. And then I think Rosen said he's having electroshock therapy or something today. And of course, he works 3 hours a week, 1 hour a day, and today, and then he's getting electroshock therapy twice, today and then next Wednesday, and both are at 1 o'clock.
Could have done Monday.
Well, of course, he could have done Monday.
Or Friday.
Monday. He could have pretended he was the mamas and the papas. But he didn't. He decided he would, just like he did he's treating the Grum like the state fair. That's how he remember how he despised the state. Then he tries to pretend he doesn't despise the state fair because he knows that looks bad because, everybody loves to see him there. So when he says he hates the state fair, then people go, you must hate visiting with your fans. And it's just so refreshing when he's able to go away somewhere and not recognized. It's good for him. But no Rosen today either. Boy, how about that? No! How about that WNBA game with the Lynx? They lose, and it just was very un-Lynx-like. Twins win, though that doesn't make much of a difference. The team is off to the team being the Vikings. They're on their way to Dublin, as is the purveyor of positivité, Barney the Purple Dinosaur. Ryder Cup starts tomorrow. With all those stories and topics to talk about, I'm not sure.
Does it start Friday for Ryder Cup?
Is it Friday?
It's usually 3 days.
Did I say tomorrow? Sorry. It doesn't matter. Accuracy has never been my... I'm just trying to get to Wheel Up topic.
Commons golf games.
That'll catch a guy off guard.
What'd you shoot today?
82.
Where'd we play?
A Royal Club, the King and the Queen.
Where'd you hit it on? One?
Right up the gut.
How far from the green?
Had a hybrid in my hand, so I think I was 175 to the flag.
Second shot?
Pured it, just absolutely pured it right at the flag.
Then what?
The first putt from 30 feet, I didn't give it quite enough. I kind of died on the hill and trickled down and broke right. I had to make like a 6-footer for par.
Then what?
And I did.
Incredible.
One swing, Tennessee, can change the outcome of a round. Number 5, shorter par 4, always a forced carry over the water. It's usually a very short iron. I had an 8-iron. Matter of fact, I should have hit 9. But of course, because I'm not in control of my emotions anymore, I'm like a fighter who's shop worn, who's taken too many blows, and the reflexes aren't there, and I thinned it right into the water, and make triple. If I just hit a simple iron onto the green and make par, I shoot 79, and I'm much happier, right? But I played well on the back. But this is what I do all the time when I'm playing golf. So I get to 17, And there's a young kid on the grounds crew working over on the left side of the green. Then there's a mower guy, older guy. You know, when I say older, I mean, he's, we got a kid that's probably, 19, 20 years old. Older guy, looks like he's probably 50s, maybe, not quite my age, 66. So I hit the ball and I missed the green left, okay? So I get up there and mower guy knows me and says, hey, did you ever find your keys? Because he heard the bit about losing my keys. I said, no, I think they're in the Lowry Tunnel on Highway 94. And he laughs. And so then I look at the kid and I go, why'd you kick my ball off the green? And he looked at me, thought I was serious at first. So he's got this look like, oh no, now I got somebody from the loony bin. I go, I know I hit that to 10 feet and now it's over here. You must have, and then mower guy laughs. So then the kid realizes it's just a bit, right? So then I finish up, I make a brilliant pitch and I putted. I'm sorry, because it was just barely off the ring. Hit a beautiful putt, almost goes in, make my putt. So then I get back on the cart and I drive to AT&T and I realize I dropped my glove. So then I double back to the green and it's laying there. And then I look at the kid and I said, first you kick my ball off the green, and then when I'm bent over trying to read my putt, you pick my pocket and take my golf club off. And he loved it.
I always love that.
I don't know why I told that story. I'm going to be like Meat Sauce doing comedy. I don't know why I said that and told that story. It's not even funny. By the way, if you are going to the comedy show at Max's on the Green in New London Spicer on, I think it's the 10th or 11th of October. It's that Saturday. I can do Meat Sauce act for you right now. He'll tell some long meandering story that really has no beginning, no middle, or no end. And then he'll just stop talking and go, that wasn't funny. I don't even know why I said that. And then he'll go to his next bit.
You could just make double the money just by doing his act on top of your own.
I still want to do the ventriloquist doll bit, but I can't find a ventriloquist doll. The last time I checked, it cost like $1,500 to get a lifelike ventriloquist doll. Is there a doll maker somewhere? Is there somebody that can just make me a ventriloquist-like doll that looks like Meat Sauce? Then I'll have Meat Sauce.
I always love that.
He'll be backstage with a microphone, and then he'll respond to all of my questions. Lucky, that Wales. I think it's got potential, and it's new material. Brilliant. I'm a lot like Adam Sandler. A couple of new jokes.
Yeah.
And then a lot of
classic bits.
Exactly right. So let's do this. Let's take a break. Well, we got Peek at the Purple, and there's some controversial Vikings news coming up on the other side of the break on the Common Man program on the Fan.
We all remember that one teacher who made a difference, who believed in us, challenged us, or just made learning fun. Now's your chance to say thank you in a big way with iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. Nominate an outstanding public school teacher who's gone above and beyond for their students to win $5,000 to stock their classroom with whatever they need. Today's teacher of the day is James Rodriguez, who teaches at Prodeo Academy in Columbia Heights, and who folks told us always goes above and beyond for her students and the students of the people she loves. Help us say thank you to the educator shaping our future. Nominate your favorite teacher now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
Time now for Peek at the Purple, brought to you by Affordable Electric. If you are a consumer of consumer news, you probably saw, I saw another story. They're really starting to pile up now at breakneck speeds. That EV tax credit, $7,500, that baby's going away. Blah, blah. Ain't going to be around at the end of this month. So a lot of people are buying electrical vehicles. And then you're going to need one of those 240-volt kind of socket things in your garage. Who else but Affordable Electric? Family owned and operated. Been here for years. Nick and his crew are terrific. Affordable-Electric. Oh, by the way, I also was talking to the folks at Affordable the other day. I'm always checking with them, make sure that the message is clear, make sure they're happy with my work. And they wanted to mention, a lot of people have those 3-season porches, and you like being out on the 3 Seasons porch watching sports as football in the fall, right? Out on the 3 Seasons porch. It can get a bit chilly. They can install, I think, baseboard. You'll have to ask them. They can make your 3 Seasons porch toasty, toasty warm. So whether it's EV chargers, it's 3-season porch heating mechanisms, it's and whatever your electrical needs, affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com. They are shockingly affordable. I don't know how he earned it, but Zayraj got Defensive Player of the Week. I mean, boy, it must have been
pretty
an off
surprising.
week. I was stunned.
Yeah.
I mean, only defense 3 passes, only had a fumble recovery, a forced fumble, and interception, and 2 of those were returned for tutties. That's all. Wasn't that big of a deal or anything. So he is your Defensive Player of the Week. So in the first 3 weeks, we've had an Offensive Player of the Week and a Defensive Player of the Week. Yeah, we have a 2-1 record to show for it. A text message came in.
We're coming.
That says, hey, Common, I'm about to say something controversial.
That's interesting.
How long of a leash does JJ have? Most say to let him finish the season and see what we have, which I can agree with. But what happens if he lays an egg week 1 next season? Very hypothetical, I know, but based on what we've seen with Wentz, you have to ask yourself if you're in that locker room, why not win now and stick with Wentz? You have to hope he has the killer instinct in the playoffs. Playoffs? You're talking playoffs?
Get there first.
Because we saw Darnold regular season didn't mean anything when the lofts come. Cool kids are saying lofts instead of the playoffs. I didn't know that. I'm going to start saying that. I like that. You learn something every day. The lofts are coming. We talked about it yesterday.
We're already looking ahead to week 1 next year?
Yeah. We talked about it quite a bit yesterday. And we're going to continue to do because I just like to beat things into the ground. And plus, I got nothing today. I was expecting Rosie and Oak. And the head coach, by the way, at 1:20. He'll probably start at 1:30. But we've got the head coach for his midweek news conference. But we talked about it. I mean, look at the coach kind of left it wide open when it came to who's going to be the quarterback once the injuries. I mean, he says, well, we don't have to make that decision now. When you say we don't have to make that decision now, that means you are undecided, I believe, right? That's how I interpret it. But maybe not. Maybe, as soon as his ankle's ready, even if we win the next couple of games on the road, we win in Dublin, we win in London, Wentz is competent. They don't win in spite of him. That's it. Sometimes you can win a game in spite of somebody's performance. But if he's fine, doesn't even have to be brilliant, but he's good, quality, like he was this past week. Then you have the bye week, and then McCarthy says, I'm ready to go. Ankle's great. He's doing hopscotch and jumping jacks and pogo stick, and he looks great. Well, there's a very good chance coach goes back to him, says he's our quarterback. He is our quarterback for now and in the future. And, I understand that. If you do that, that's fine too, especially if you build up a little cushion. Now you're 4-1. Well, let's say we win 2 games, you're 4-1, right? But I've, in every situation we talked about this yesterday, Tennessee. Should a player lose his job due to injury? I don't like that. I'd rather they don't. But if someone's brilliant in your place and you got a little momentum going, it's the old don't fix what ain't broke, ride the horse, right? Isn't it someone ride the horse that got you here? Or no? There's an old saying, I know there is in Tennessee, there was in Texas as well. But you go.
He also hasn't done enough to secure the job.
Well, no, he has not. That's exactly right. He had 1 great quarter. So
Like this isn't Joe Montana and then Steve Young's coming along here. Right?
This is correct.
JJ might turn out to be that, but as of right now, with the limited sample size we have, he has not proven that.
Somebody sent a text.
So he has not secured the job.
Somebody sent a text saying, you and I have already given up on JJ. No one's given up on JJ. We're just going by the old built to win now, this, that. You got to kind of do what's, to me, it's every situation. I just don't think there's a hard and fast rule. If there was, I would say you don't lose your job to an injury. But in the world of sports as a whole, we talked about it yesterday. Everybody's playing for contracts and for money and legacies and championships and all of this. And the owners want to win, and they want to win now. They've had the team for 20 years. And even if you think that you don't go, well, Wentz was really good and JJ's been struggling, but he's our quarterback, so we're going to waste a year getting him better. Now, if they decide to go with him, that's great. I think the other problem becomes if you do go back to him and he's awful right away again, then you could lose the locker room. They go, why did we switch? You're the coach, and they're probably not going to say this to him unless they do the old players-only meeting and they nominate somebody, probably be Hitman, to go up there and say, Coach, we're wondering why did you go back to him? We were doing fine with Wentz. We were 4-1. Now we're 4-3. We've lost 2 in a row, and we love JJ, but he's been awful. So we'll just see what happens. I mean, we have to play out the Steelers game first, and we have to play out is it Browns after that?
Yes.
Steelers and the Browns. We play those 2 games, and then we reevaluate.
Yeah, I was just going to say. So right now, I'm on the board of our youth hockey association, and we're going through tryouts for different levels, right? And for our evaluators, they have 5 days to evaluate these kids. On day 4 and day 5, your evaluator scores are more likely to be accurate than on day 1 because you have more information. So, like, trying to discuss what we're going to do with J.J. McCarthy week 1 next year, or in KOC's case, the reason not answering the question is because 3 weeks from now, we'll have more information on what Carson Wentz can do, as opposed to you'll see 3 or 4 games out of him as opposed to 1 game out of him.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly.
You don't make those decisions until you'll make a better decision with the more information you have.
And let's say this. Let's say he returns to the thrilling days of 2017? When they went to the big game, when he got injured and Foles took over. I think it was 2017. 2018.
That was the Case Keenum year, yeah.
He was on his way to winning an MVP award before he got hurt. If he plays MVP caliber in the next 2 games like he did back then, you got to stick with him.
You ride him, and then you sign him to a contract next year. And you bring him back next year.
That's what you do. I'm sorry. That's just, this isn't in-house basketball.
Well, like JJ1, his performance has not shown you yet that you have to commit to him. And financially, you're not committed to him.
That's it.
Yeah, you burned a draft pick on him. You burned a couple draft picks to get up and get him. But you're not like hamstrung with it. We signed this guy to $50 million over the next 5 years, and now we can't get out of the contract.
Yeah.
If he's the guy, then you go with him. If he's not, then you move on.
I agree with the morning crew. We need JJ to play out the season so we know for sure what we got, especially with the No, you don't have to see him. You can see what he got with him next year. If you're built to win now and your team, did you see what I guess people just.
And if Carson Wentz is mediocre or bad, then yes.
Yes.
Well, let's see what we got in him.
Exactly.
If Carson Wentz is really good and you're 4-1, you can delay that. You can just put it on hold for a little bit. This isn't tough.
That's exactly right. It's not that tough to figure out. Peek at the Purple, brought to you by Affordable Electric. For all of your electrical needs, affordable-electric.com, affordable-electric.com. Affordable Electric is shockingly affordable. More Vikings, Pittsburgh-related news. And yes, it's controversial. That's next on the Common Man program on The Fan.
Aquarius Home Services has your shot at 4 tickets to see Green Bay take on the Purple in early January, plus $500 in game day cash. Register for your chance to win today on the KFAN contest page. That's KFAN.com/furnace to enter today.
A lot of the kids at iHeart Minneapolis are procreating. Have you noticed, Tennessee? Everybody's got a baby. Every day, at least every other day, it seems like some employees coming in with their newborn.
Yeah.
I think it's Abby today. Luca is the newest addition to her family. And all the moms are out there taking turns, cradling baby. I don't trust. I might drop the kid. So I'd be careful there. Tennessee, I used to ask you this question all the time, and you were very secretive about it. Are you guys done having kids, or is it still possible?
Oh my gosh.
Your youngest is
Above average.
5.
5. Be a little late, but what do you think? You guys thinking about it, or would you rather keep that under your vest? Close to
I think that's kind of personal.
Yeah. Kind of sounds like you guys are planning to have some kids.
I just said I think it's personal. So I don't know if that's
Oh, no, I can read
anything you need to know or the general public needs to know.
Well, if you weren't, you would just say, no, we're done. We're fine with it. But to be,
what happens when you do that and then all of a sudden you have one, though?
What do you mean?
Well, you can say you're done, but you could still have one after saying you're done.
Well, you could say, yeah, but maybe, like you saying, like accidentally? Like,
sure.
Well, then you just say, well, we wasn't planned. We really were planning to. I can tell you right now that I've had my last child. Well, with Potato, my second wife hasn't been born yet. So that's always possible that I could have another kid there with my second wife. But again, I just don't know when that's going to be. NFL denies Pittsburgh Steelers' request ahead of Dublin game versus Minnesota Vikings. Apparently, Pittsburgh wanted to go to Dublin early. The idea being that, it's that nonsense about jet lag and circadian rhythms and body clock and different time zones, which I think is nonsense. Personally, I've stated that unequivocal. I've stated that in the strongest terms. Tomlin, apparently, they played Minnesota before across the pond and had what was been described as a sluggish performance.
Yeah.
So he thought, well, we want to get there early. However, Jerry Dulac writes for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. I think don't know much about him. I don't think he has skeletons in his closet. But he says he reported that the NFL did not allow them to do it. Here's what he wrote. FYI, the Steelers wanted to go over early in the week, but the NFL said no and is making each team arrive at the same time. I don't know the exact reason for the change. Maybe it has to do with something about competitive advantage, but it wasn't the Steelers' decision. I'm reading from a Sporting News piece that picked up on this. It goes on to say, as Dulac points out, teams have always been free to leave when they want, whether that be early or late in the week. One can only assume competitive advantage is playing a role in the NFL's decision-making process. D lineman Cam Hayward is the only remaining Steeler from that 2013 game, and he has previously stated how bad things were because of how late Pittsburgh left for London. He said, we left Thursday night, arrived Friday morning. Everybody was asleep during practice. Everybody was falling asleep during the stretch. Then we had meetings after. Everybody fell asleep there. Then during the game, everybody's asleep in the first half. It's rough because you're going, what? I'll be 5 hours ahead, so you're trying to get sleep on a plane going over there. It's not ideal.
6 hours ahead for us, Cam.
Yeah. What I'll tell you is like I just said, I think anybody that's been a regular listener of the program realizes I don't believe in anything. I mean, I know there's something to it, but it's mind over matter. I think, in my mind, is the only thing that matters right now. Brain matter. And I just think that you can convince yourself that I'm not tired. It doesn't bother me. And I think you can, I think you can overcome any of that nonsense. I've described how I did when I flew to Scotland, 6 hour, 7 hour flight, whatever it was, hop off a plane, drive from Glasgow to St. Andrews, sprint to the pro shop, check in, go out and play, birdie the first hole and shoot a 79. Boy, jet lag really affected my game, didn't it? I really struggled. Wow, time zone change really. I mean, it's a loser's lament. It's now PJ would say.
Now, you weren't really fully affected by the time zone there because you just went straight off the plane there. It's not like you'd had the night of sleep where the time change is different with the darkness. So it's a little different.
I don't find it different at all because at the end of the trip, I shot a 79 and birdied the last hole too.
Well, I think you can adjust by the end of the trip.
I bookended both trips. You can continue to, I understand the esoteric approach doesn't register with you even after all these years.
I feel like for a day, like the next day, I get it, why there would be an effect. But if you're leaving on Thursday, by the time you get to Sunday, you've adjusted.
Yeah.
So I don't believe it. I don't understand, though, like, what's the rationale from the NFL why they're forcing Pittsburgh to go Thursday? I feel like they should just go Minnesota, Pittsburgh. You show up whenever you want to show up.
Well, that's the way it used to be.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's the
why
way it should be.
Well, but they're saying that they think
Pittsburgh wants to go Monday and Minnesota wants to go Thursday, then let them do it the way they want to do it.
Well, I agree with you, but I guess the NFL is trying to say there's a competitive disadvantage or advantage, but I'm with you. It's like, well, then, what?
That's the team's mistake then.
Yeah, right. That's exactly right. And I'd just fly in the night before. I wouldn't even worry about it. It's so nonsensical. It really is. And now the Browns, are they also playing over there this week?
I don't believe so. So I think the Vikings will actually have the advantage over him.
So then where's the NFL stand on that? So I just think the whole doing overseas game.
Because the Browns at Detroit.
I just think,
Sunday.
yeah, that's right. I just think that's an L for the Browns. Matter of fact, if you're the Browns, do you just say, look, we know we can't beat Detroit at the litter box, so we'll just take the L, we'll forfeit, and then we'll just fly over to now.
We won't even send our best players to Detroit. Just send them to
What is just forfeit?
London now.
No,
Yeah.
I just say forfeit.
Oh, yeah.
Just forfeit, and then just fly over to London to get adjusted so you're ready for the Vikings because they've got zero chance of winning that.
They're going to lose the next two.
I'm not so sure about the Vikings.
I do think the Vikings already have been there for a week. Will be an advantage.
We'll see. I'm not sold on this purple yet. I'm just not.
Unless there's a rodeo drive over there that they're partying.
So
distracted.
Yeah, I just the whole. I think doing overseas games is ridiculous. Anyways, I
agree,
and I know the reason behind it. They're trying to make it a global game. They want. There's been talk, and I don't know if I've ever heard it come from ownership or the Players Association or the commissioner about we'd like to base some teams overseas, but I think that's been discussed.
Talked about that,
yeah. And now you talk about your
I once heard they wanted to have like their own division over there.
You talk about your competitive disadvantages. I mean, anytime they would have to come over here to play a game, and then you have to do that how many times a year? A handful of times. I mean, even if you had a division over there, that's going to be 6 games over there, but then you're going to have to come over here for a handful. And players, because
Well, how about if they just wanted to bring someone in for a workout?
Yeah.
Hey, when you come for a workout, you got to fly 6 time zones.
I just think just leave well enough alone. It's I don't understand it. Oh, well, it's money based, right? I get that, but I don't know. Here's this one says I flew to Minnesota, the Vikes home opener, Eastern time to Central time and back again. I still haven't recovered. So he's Ryan from Michigan hasn't even covered. This one says the Steelers will be fine because the Vikings usually fall asleep on the field after a big win the previous week. Well, there's that. That can happen too. But, yeah, I find the whole thing, it's much ado about nothing. Now, you talk about quarterbacks, Tenneby, and moving on, right? You brought it up yesterday where San Francisco, I think it was 9 first-round picks and 22 second-round picks to get Justin Fields.
Trey Lance.
And after Trey Lance played...
One of us, by the way, Trey Lance.
Yeah, and it just didn't work. And so they moved on from Trey Lance, even though it's like, it's a lot of... you give up that much for him, you almost feel like you got to keep giving it a try, but they realized that he wasn't going to... He didn't have it, right? And that became part of the discussion yesterday with McCarthy. You got to let it play out a little ways, but I mean, how long do you let it play out? If he does struggle, there are teams like the Giants are moving on right now. They've had enough after 3 weeks. They're 0-3. Russ Wilson's not young, but Russ Wilson comes in. He had one good game. Otherwise, he's been just I don't even know if he's been okay. I'm not paying as close attention to New York Giant football or Russ Wilson quarterbacking as I once did. But they're going to Jackson Dart. They've just said this is ridiculous. We got to, we do have to see what we have here. So teams are doing that. They're quicker when they draft someone to go to that guy right away. I mean,
sure.
Caleb Williams started as a rookie, right?
Yep. So did Jaden Daniels.
And so did Jaden Daniels.
Drake May.
So you have
sort of
players. There you go. These people are all starting. And Pennick was pretty close. I mean, they went with Cousins for a while, and then Pennick came in, and now it's been Pennick. But, it's eventually you do have to see what you've got. But to me, there's just no rush. I have to take each game and each situation individually, because, Seasons Change was the name of a song back I used to play in the 80s. Who did that? I don't remember. It was Seasons Change was the name of the song. Anyways, So just let the thing play out. Oh, did you see the Fry guy get hit in the face with the pitch baseball?
No.
Oh gosh. I usually don't like to see highlights like that, but I was curious. But you don't really see like blood. But he squared around a bunt in Skubel. Is that the kid's name for Detroit? Square in the face, right in the nose and the mouth. He went down. Oh wait, and so Skubel he drops his glove and takes his hat off. He's it wasn't a brushback pitch or anything like that. He squared around a bunt and took it right in the face.
Do I dare watch video of this?
Oh yeah, because the video I saw, you didn't see a lot. What I want to know is, and I didn't see anything yet. We were supposed to get a report on his condition. I mean, he kind of waved at the crowd, and he was carted off the field, from what I understand. But they were going to update his condition sometime today, and I'm not. Let me see if I see anything, because I didn't see anything before I got on the air.
Ow.
Yeah. I don't see anything as I'm scanning quickly. I see nothing, Tenneby. Just the story of him taking the foul ball, or the pitch off the face. So there's nothing there. But man, that looked. You get hit square in the nose and the mouth with a thrown pitch. I was.
It almost goes as close to the eye too.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised he even got up. Here we go. We have an update, Tenneby. We have breaking news. Cleveland Guardians DH David Fry sustained a broken nose and facial fractures after he was hit in the face by a pitch from Detroit's Skubel in the 6th inning of Cleveland's win. The manager says he's doing okay. He's in good spirits. He's upright, and he is alert. The team planned a more detailed update later. Fry squared around to try to bunt a 99-mile-per-hour fastball from Skubel, and the pitch struck him in the nose and mouth area. As Fry collapsed in the batter's box and immediately grabbed his bloodied face, a visibly shaken Skubel threw off his glove and cap. As Vogt, the manager, and trainers rushed onto the field, he laid in the dirt for several minutes before being slowly helped to his feet. He gave a thumbs-up signal as he sat up and was driven off in a cart. The Guardians say Fry was being transported from Lutheran Medical to Cleveland Clinic main campus for further testing and observation. Vogt said, "It was straight to the face. We're all thinking about Dave and his family right now. Obviously, we're glad he's okay, but obviously it was a scary moment." Skubel says, really tough. I've already reached out to him. I'm sure his phone is blowing up. I just want to make sure he's all right. Obviously, seemed like he was okay coming off the field, and hopefully it stays that way. I know sometimes of those things that can change, so hopefully he's all right. I look forward to hopefully at some point tonight, this was his quote from last night, or tomorrow morning, getting a text from him making sure he's all good, because there's things that are bigger than the game, and the health of him is more important than a baseball game. It's reminiscent of back in the late 60s, 68, 69, maybe 1970, the Canigliaro brothers, Tony Canigliaro, and I don't remember his brother's name, but Tony. He was a center fielder for the Red Sox, and that Red Sox team went to the World Series in 67. Had a chance to go back in 68 when, Rosen and I have talked about that four-way race into the last weekend. The Angels, Twins, Red Sox, and Tigers all had a chance going into the last weekend. Matter of fact, Twins, if they won the final game of the season, would have went, and they lost to Boston. But Canigliaro got hit in the eye with a pitch baseball, and he was never the same. Never. And you wonder about you get hit like that. I mean, that's like 99-mile-per-hour fastball, Tenneby. I mean, think about the impact and what it did. Facial fractures, his nose. Who knows how many fractures there are in his face? It might take forever to heal.
A lot of pain in that part of the body, too.
Yeah, and then who knows? It might take several. I don't know.
Surgeries.
Several reconstructive surgeries, and then are you ever the same after that? And then how do you go back into that batter's box and square around a bunt?
Yeah.
I just don't know, man. I remember when. You ever been in a car accident, Tenneby?
Sure.
I mean, but like, not a bad one, but one that kind of like, it's Not we're getting into all the details, but I was driving with a buddy. We hit a tree. It was ugly. And I remember nobody was hurt badly, okay? But I remember getting into a car like the next couple of times, and it was, if we were going over 50 miles an hour, I started freaking out a little bit,
sure.
Because it was that, God, I remember the last time I was doing this, and it took me a few times traveling in the car just to not even think about getting in a car accident again, right? And so I can't imagine what it's going to be like for Fry. Guys get hit sometimes, they're fine after they get glancing blow off their batting helmet, right? But this is square to the face, just ugly. So
I was just talking to a hockey parent today about their child used to play football in the fall and got a concussion and then ended up quitting football. And I was thinking to myself, like, that would be hard if you have a concussion and the recovery for concussion is different for everybody else. And then to have to go through that with the head injury and then go back out on the field again. And how do you, knowing you're putting in that exact same risk every single time, but just as physical as that sport is, that'd be hard to go back out there.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. And so, so I wish Fry the best. Obviously, hopefully he's able to bounce back from that. This text message says, I've seen all three in person, close up, and the golf ball was the scariest. What does he mean? I've seen somebody get hit by a golf ball. I've been hit 2 times by a golf ball. Both times right here in the breastplate, line drives. If you're going to get hit by a golf ball, that's like the best place because it was sore and I had a bruise, but I was still able to play and just function.
Line drive.
Was standing on the 8th tee box at Rush Creek and doing the old standing behind the tee ball, getting ready to hit, lining it up, and took a step forward. And right when it hit me, the guy yelled 4. Thanks a lot. He's coming from 6th tee box then? Must have been. Hit me right in the chest. And then the next time it happened, I'm at the old Sawmill, now defunct Sawmill golf course. 16's a par 3. And then number 1 is a par 5. And they share the cart path over there, where you park.
Yeah.
The green on 1 and the tee box on 16. I'm not making this story up. I'm sitting there. I've hit my tee shot. I get back on the cart. I'm having a Diet Coke. I pick up the Diet Coke from the cup holder on the cart, and I notice there's a bee sitting on it. And I pull my head back. I was like, whoa. And right when I pulled my head back, I think that bee may have saved my life, where the bee almost killed Mark Rosen. A bee, basically, because that thing hit me in the chest, and I tongue lashed that guy because he didn't yell a thing. And he goes, I didn't know what he was over there. I go, dude, don't give me that. Even if you don't, you got to yell 4. I mean, and it shares a cart path. I mean, don't pretend I'm not saying he did know I was there, but you can't hit one screaming like that to the right of the green and not yell 4. And because I said to him, I said, dude, if you yell 4 and it kills me, all bets are off. We're all out here taking a risk, but you got to say something. I never not yell 4 if I think if I hit a wayward, and with me, Tennessee, it doesn't happen very often. I'm not Tennessee. But so we'll see what happens with the Fry character. We've got the head coach coming up at the schedule for 1:20. So we'll probably break early and then straddle the 45 stations all along the Common Man Radio Network. That's what we'll probably be doing. But as we come back from break, it'll be time for 5-3-4. What you got, Tenna?
Yeah, one local team is bringing the nostalgia back.